Okay, CJ, what the heck is that thing? Hey everyone, this is CJ of CJ's Creative Studio, and today I wanted to make a short video to answer a question I get at least once a week, and I have for years. What the heck are these, and why would you use them? I mean, people see them in one of my videos, they see them in stores, or actually they see this one in stores. It has this weird spinny bit and it has all of these holes. Why would you use this? So that's why we're here. These are called lettering guides. They are also called ruling guides or liner guides or any of a number of different names. The green one is a Linex 1007 or 1007, and this might be pronounced Linux or something similar. It's a Danish company brand, and this is just a tease because I don't think this is available anymore. I wish it was. This is vastly superior to this one, which is commonly called the Ames lettering guide, although it's made by a lot of different companies. But for so many reasons, this one's better. In a future video, if you all want to see it, I'll explain how these are used and why this one is better than this one. But otherwise, we're just here to explain why you would use one of these. And I'll just set this aside not to confuse you. In an age of technology, a lot of us, me included, print out our guide sheets on an inkjet printer. You can do it on a laser printer, but it's generally better on an inkjet printer. This is a throwback to a bygone age when draftsmen used to make their drawings with a pencil, with a T-square, and you just draw lines. And then you'd have to label everything, so you would use one of these tools to draw your guidelines so that your letters would be at an industry standard height. That's why these things exist. Now, that doesn't happen very much. Most people do all of their drafting work on computer. So these find usefulness by people who do handwriting, calligraphy, comic artists, people who have to maintain lettering at a set amount of size, and this is important, need to use a pencil so that they can erase the lines. I mean, if a computer draws that line, you aren't going to be able to erase it nearly that easily. And that's important when you're doing work that matters to people. So basically, what this is intended to do is to allow you to draw lines using one of the scales that's on here. And again, this one is, it's not metric. It's not very metric. It's a little bit metric, not a lot. It's very frustrating. So if you are using one of those guides, the way that a lot of people would draw lines is to make a lot of dots. And then you take your T-square and then you draw lines at those dots. And I have a camera in my way, so I can't actually see where my dots are. This has the problem that, for calligraphers especially, is that you're leaving these little impressions of dots that persist even if you've erased the lines away. I mean, you can erase the dots too, but you still have a depression in the paper. So what one of these things does, that after you have it set up, you can draw your lines. And I'm going to go down every other hole here. You can draw your lines, and you can continue drawing your lines by aligning this hole with a line you already drew. Just keep drawing. And at no point, other than when I set this thing up initially, did I have to worry about any measurements at all. And then when I erased the lines, assuming I didn't draw them too harshly and really pressed into the paper, you won't know that the lines were there unless you really, really look, like with a magnifying loupe or something like that. So basically, that's all there is to know about why you would use a lettering guide. They're obviously a little more complicated than what I showed, but not a lot. They were used for years, and there's a reason for it. They are very useful tools. Nowadays, like I said, it's mostly for calligraphers, comics artists, and people who are doing specialty handwriting things, but they're still useful. Like I said, this one isn't available anymore so far as I can tell. And this one is available seemingly everywhere you can buy drafting supplies. Typically, you can find this for between $3 and $5 US. These are not very expensive at all. So, that's it for this time. I hope you found that informative. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. And if you would like to help me continue making content of this sort, please check out my Patreon page. I'd appreciate it. And that's it for this video. I'll be back with another one before too long, and until then, as always, be creative and keep on practicing.